Have you ever had one of those days where you just wish you could fly away from all your responsibilities to a magical place? A place where you never have to grow up? Well, today we're going to talk about a story that's all about that dream, the classic tale of Peter Pan. So let me ask you something, and be honest. Do you ever wish you could just be a child forever? Think about it. Playing all day with absolutely no worries. That feeling, that wish, is right at the heart of the story we're exploring today. All right, let's get into it. First up, we need to meet our main character. His name is Peter Pan. And trust me, he is not your average boy. For one thing, he can fly, and he never, ever gets older. He lives in this amazing, magical place called Neverland. So our story kicks off in London, inside the home of the Darling family. It's late one night, and Peter Pan flies right in through the children's window. Why? Well, he's looking for his shadow. He lost it. The oldest child, a girl named Wendy, is very kind, and she actually helps him sew it back on. Peter notices that Wendy is a wonderful storyteller, and that gives him a brilliant idea. He asks her to come with him to Neverland. He wants her to be a mother for him and his friends, the Lost Boys. And with that one little question, a huge adventure is about to begin. So, how exactly do you get to Neverland? It's not by train, and it's not by boat. Nope, you have to fly. And this, right here, is one of the most magical parts of the whole story. Peter teaches the children the secret to flying. And you know what? It's actually pretty simple. First, you have to think of something happy, a really wonderful thought. Next, you need just a little bit of fairy dust. Peter's friend Tinkerbell helps with that. And just like that, you're flying. And so they fly, all of them, right across the London sky and all the way to Neverland. And this island, it's just packed with adventure. There are beautiful mermaids, there are groups of island natives, and of course, there are dangerous pirates. It's a world where really anything feels possible. Now, in this brand new world, Wendy and her brothers meet a lot of new people. Some of them become great friends, but one of them, well, one becomes a very dangerous enemy. So Peter's best friend in the whole world is a tiny little fairy named Tinkerbell. She might be small, but boy, her feelings are huge. And then you have the Lost Boys. These are Peter's friends. They're all boys who don't have parents, and they just live for fun and adventure. But Neverland isn't all fun and games. See, the leader of the pirates is Captain Hook, and he is Peter's biggest enemy. A long time ago, Peter actually cut off Captain Hook's hand and fed it to a crocodile. So now all Hook wants is to get back at Peter. This is really the big fight in the story, the brave young Peter Pan against the evil Captain Hook. So the children are having these amazing adventures. They fight pirates, they play all day long, it's incredible. But after some time passes, something starts to change for them. A new feeling starts to creep in. You know what it is? They start to miss their home. They miss their own beds, sure, but what they really miss is their mom and dad. Wendy starts remembering how much her parents love her, and she realizes that Neverland, as magical as it is, it's just not her real home. She decides it's time to go back. Peter is really sad to see them leave, of course, but he helps Wendy and her brothers fly back to London. He even lets the Lost Boys go with them. But Peter, he makes a different choice. He decides to stay behind in Neverland. Why? Because he never, ever wants to grow up. He's going to stay a boy forever, always waiting for the next adventure. Now look, Peter Pan is a really fun story about flying and pirates. There's no doubt about it. But it's also so much more than that. It asks some pretty big questions about life, about memory, and what it really means to grow up. So let's take a couple of minutes and dig a little deeper into the meaning of this amazing story. So the first really big idea here is imagination. I mean, is Neverland a real, actual place? Maybe. But you know what else it is? It's a world that's built on belief. Remember how you have to think a happy thought to fly? The story is telling us that our minds, our imagination, that's a powerful thing. It's not just for kids playing games. It's about believing in things you can't see. And Peter Pan invites all of us to believe in a little bit of magic. Okay, the next huge idea is family. Think about it. Peter and the Lost Boys, they don't have one. That's the whole reason they ask Wendy to be their mother. They're missing something really important. For the Darling children, though, the memory of their family's love is actually stronger than all the magic in Neverland. Family is like an anchor, right? It's that safe place you can always go back to. And in this story, family is the big reason we choose to grow up. So this all brings us to the big choice in the story. It's like there are two doors. On one side, you've got Peter's world, Neverland. That world is all about being a kid forever. It's total freedom, fun, adventure. But there's a problem. Peter forgets everything. He forgets his adventures, even his friends, almost right after they happen. His freedom is also a little bit lonely. Then, on the other side, you have Wendy's world, which is London. That world means growing up. It means family, love, and responsibility. It means, yeah, you'll feel sad sometimes and you'll get older. The story doesn't tell us one is better. It just shows us two very different and very powerful ways to live. So what's the big takeaway here? Well, the story is telling us that childhood is an amazing, special thing. We should always try to keep some of that imagination and joy with us. But it also shows us that growing up is its own adventure. To love people, to have a family, to take care of others, these are the things that give life real meaning. Peter chooses freedom, but without memories. Wendy chooses love, with all its good and bad parts. And both of their choices teach us something really important about being human. You know, the story of Peter Pan is more than 100 years old, but it doesn't feel old at all. I think we love it because, well, a part of us gets it. A part of us understands Peter. We all have a little piece of Neverland inside our hearts, a place filled with our happiest memories and our biggest dreams. And that brings us right back to the beginning. To fly, Peter Pan needed a happy thought. That was his special magic. So I want to leave you with this question. What is your happy thought? What's the one memory or one dream that makes you feel like you could just lift off the ground? Whatever it is, hold on to it. That's your magic. Thanks so much for listening.